Some mysteries grip a community like a vice, refusing to let go. In rural Missouri, where cornfields stretched toward the horizon, one question haunted the residents of Warren County for 7 long years. What happened to Officer Emily Harper? On October 3, 1991, this respected patrol officer vanished without a trace. Her final radio call came at 4:12 p.m., reporting a routine stop near mile marker 178. 7 years later, a chilling discovery would freeze the blood of those who found it. This isn't just another missing person case. It's a tale of secrets buried in the heart of small-town America, where the line between safety and wilderness blurs, and a revelation so disturbing it would haunt everyone involved forever. Emily Harper wasn't just a badge on a uniform. At 34, she had patrolled the quiet highways of Warren County for 9 years. Locals recognized her sleek patrol motorcycle by its low hum, and they knew Emily by her warm smile and steady presence. Standing 5 feet 7 inches with auburn hair tied back in a tight bun, her uniform always crisp, Emily was known for helping stranded drivers, often buying water or snacks for those short on cash. Her bike storage held a first aid kit, tire repair tools, and blankets for emergencies. In 9 years, she never missed a shift, never lodged a complaint, and never lost her cool during a tense stop. Her captain called her the backbone of the department. On October 3, 1991, a crisp autumn morning greeted Warren County. The temperature hovered at 68 degrees Fahrenheit with a light breeze from the northwest. Emily arrived at the station at 6:30 a.m., 10 minutes early, as was her habit. She checked her radio, inspected her motorcycle's engine and tires, and skimmed the overnight logs. The desk sergeant recalled her joking about her plans to visit her brother in Jefferson City after her shift. At 7:15 a.m., Emily radioed dispatch, reporting clear roads and light traffic on her route. Her voice was calm, professional, with no hint of trouble. The dispatcher noted it as a typical Saturday morning exchange. Highway 412 wound through Missouri's heartland, linking small farming towns across 55 miles of rolling hills. Emily's patrol covered fields of soybeans, scattered barns, and farmhouses nestled among sycamore trees. The highway saw weekend traffic, families visiting kin, farmers hauling grain, and occasional tourists. Emily knew every curve, every mile marker, every side road. She stopped regularly at Carter's gas station for coffee and ate lunch at Pineview Diner. The route was prone to breakdowns in the fall, and Emily had helped dozens of motorists over the years. The road offered clear sight lines, making it safe for patrol and travel. At 4:12 p.m., Emily's voice came over the radio for the last time. She reported a Code 7 meal break at mile marker 178 near the old Willow Creek Bridge, about 25 miles east of the county seat, where fields gave way to rocky bluffs. Dispatch logged the call, noting her voice sounded steady, perhaps weary after a long shift, but untroubled. She was due to resume patrol by 5 p.m. and check in within the hour. The radio went silent. Investigators later dissected that final transmission, searching for clues. They found nothing. Her words were routine, professional, final. By 5:15 p.m., dispatcher Karen Wells noticed Emily hadn't checked in. She tried raising her on the radio. Static. At 5:45 p.m., Karen tried again, her tone sharper with worry as she called Emily's badge number. No response. Other units tuned in, listening for their missing colleague. At 6 p.m., Sergeant David Coleman radioed Emily directly. When silence answered, he launched search protocols. By 6:30 p.m., patrol cars sped toward mile marker 178, their lights piercing the fading daylight. No one knew they were starting a search that would consume Warren County for 7 years. The silence that began that October evening became the county's most haunting sound. 3 patrol units reached Willow Creek Bridge as dusk settled. Sergeant Coleman coordinated from his cruiser, sending officers along Emily's route. They found her last known location, but the scene offered no answers, no skid marks, no debris, no signs of a struggle. Her motorcycle and Navy uniform were gone. As night fell, volunteers arrived with flashlights and thermos bottles. Farmers left their fields, and families sent children to neighbors to join the search. They scoured ditches, checked barns, and shouted Emily's name into the dark. The community that saw her as one of their own rallied to find her. By midnight, they had nothing. Dawn on October 4th brought state police helicopters and deputies from 2 counties. A command post was set up at Carter's gas station, buzzing with coordinators and news crews. Over 250 people joined the effort by noon. Helicopters swept the terrain, their blades echoing across the hills. Tracking dogs caught Emily's scent near the bridge, but lost it after 200 yards. Despite the massive search, the landscape seemed to have erased her. Investigators pieced together her last day through witnesses. At 3 p.m., gas station clerk Susan Lee saw Emily by her usual coffee and granola bar, chatting about the cool weather and her weekend plans. Susan said Emily seemed cheerful, eager for her time off. A farmer, Tom Bradley, reported seeing a patrol motorcycle near Willow Creek Bridge around 4:10 p.m., matching Emily's final call, but he saw nothing unusual. These snippets built a timeline that raised more questions than answers. Emily had followed her routine, shown no distress, yet vanished in the 48-minute gap between her last call and her expected check-in. The town of Pine Hollow, population 2,800, had never faced a mystery like Emily's. Churches held prayer vigils, with candles flickering as residents shared stories of the officer who'd helped them through flat tires and family emergencies. The Baptist Church on Oak Street became a volunteer hub, feeding search teams and collecting donations. Businesses pitched in. The hardware store gave flashlights, the diner offered free meals to officers, and a reward fund hit $30,000 with statewide contributions. Emily was their neighbor, their protector. They refused to believe she was gone. Tips flooded the sheriff's office. A woman resembling Emily was seen at a diner in Springfield, her motorcycle spotted near St. Louis. Each lead was chased, draining resources. Psychics claimed visions of Emily in distant places. Citizens reported odd incidents from months prior, wondering if they were linked. Detectives sifted through false leads, hoping one would break the case. As weeks passed, theories emerged. A mechanical failure might have stranded Emily in a remote area, where she got lost or injured. A medical emergency, like a sudden collapse, could explain her silence. Foul play was considered. Had someone she'd arrested sought revenge? A quieter theory suggested Emily left voluntarily, escaping unknown pressures. Each idea had some evidence, but none fit perfectly. John and Ellen Harper, Emily's parents, both retired librarians, had been married 45 years when their daughter disappeared. They lived in the same Pine Hollow house where they raised Emily and her sister Laura. Ellen kept Emily's old room untouched, her favorite quilt on the bed, photos on the dresser. John, despite a bad hip, joined every search, showing Emily's picture to strangers. Laura drove from St. Louis weekly to help. The family grappled with not knowing if Emily was alive, making grief impossible but hope painful. The vast search area challenged investigators. Emily's 55-mile route crossed rugged farmland and forests. With limited manpower, the sheriff's department couldn't cover every inch. Fall rains turned paths to mud, and winter snow buried potential clues. The FBI found no federal jurisdiction. Budget cuts forced the department to scale back, pulling detectives to active cases. By November 1991, snow blanketed the county, halting searches except for occasional weekend efforts. Media moved on, and Emily's case grew cold. Her badge, number 319, was retired, but a new officer was hired. On the first anniversary, a memorial at the Baptist Church saw Ellen clutching Emily's favorite scarf, John staring at the altar, as the congregation sang, "Be Thou My Vision." Detective Sarah Bennett joined Warren County in 1994, with 12 years' experience from St. Louis PD. Drawn to cold cases after her cousin's unsolved murder, Sarah dove into Emily's file, spotting inconsistencies in witness statements and unsearched areas along her route. She found 2 other disappearances, Farmer Carl Jensen in 1988 and trucker Mark Evans in 1990, both near Willow Creek Bridge, both on weekends, both alone. Mapping their last locations, Sarah saw a triangle centered on the bridge. She suspected a serial predator targeting solitary travelers, which could explain why Emily's training didn't save her. Locals resisted Sarah's questions about the cases. Diner regulars fell silent when she entered. Some warned her to leave old mysteries alone. Sensing a cover-up, Sarah faced pressure from her captain to focus on active cases. She worked Emily's case off-duty, straining her relationship with her partner, who tired of hearing about Emily. Sarah visited the Harpers, vowing not to quit despite the toll. The Willow Creek Bridge, built in 1929, spanned a steep ravine prone to flash floods. Old records noted fatal crashes in the 1940s, and locals called it cursed, though most scoffed at the idea. Sarah wondered if its isolation made it a perfect ambush spot. She heard rumors about the old Grayson farm, 8 miles from the bridge. Its owner, Amos Grayson, died in 1986, leaving the land empty. Teens partied there, but adults avoided it, citing odd lights and noises in Amos's final years. Sarah visited the 1,500-acre property in March 1995, finding a burned-out farmhouse, a sagging barn, and a cinderblock shed. Her initial search revealed nothing but decay, but the land's isolation made it a potential hideout. Funding for a proper search was denied, and legal hurdles blocked access to private land. Colleagues questioned her obsession, but Sarah persisted, using her own time and money. In 1997, GPS technology helped Sarah map unsearched areas. With student geologist Ryan Carter, she analyzed terrain and flood patterns, identifying 3 priority sites downstream from the bridge where debris might collect. They planned a May 1998 search with volunteers, metal detectors, and clear weather. On May 28 at 3:20 p.m., volunteer Lisa Monroe found a glint in a ravine 2.7 miles from the bridge. Brushing away dirt, she uncovered chrome handlebars, Emily's motorcycle. Sarah arrived, pulse racing, seeing the bike tangled in vines, its tires sunk in mud. The discovery deepened the mystery. The bike showed no crash damage, chrome was intact, but parts were deliberately broken. Emily's helmet, found 20 feet away, was cracked but not shattered. No skid marks or debris suggested an accident. The bike seemed placed, not crashed, hinting at foul play. The state lab confirmed the bike was moved, possibly by vehicle, with parts missing as if stolen. No blood or DNA was found where injuries would leave traces. Inside the helmet, a faded note in Emily's handwriting read, "If found, check old quarry." Mining records pointed to a sealed limestone quarry 400 yards away. Sarah, with safety experts, entered the quarry, finding a camp, sleeping bags, food cans, a dead radio. Someone had lived there for weeks, treating injuries. Supplies were packed neatly, as if the occupant left intending to return. A waterlogged journal, in Emily's hand, detailed her survival after a crash near the bridge. She'd crawled to the quarry, rationing food and signaling for help, but rock walls blocked her radio. Her entries grew shaky, describing pain and isolation. The last, dated October 29, 1991, read, "Heard footsteps. Someone's here. Going home." The journal stopped, leaving no clue to her fate. No remains were found, despite extensive searches. In January 1999, farmer Henry Tate claimed he'd found an injured woman in a torn police uniform near his land in October 1991, driving her to Warren Memorial Hospital. Records from 1991 were missing, lost in a 1996 system upgrade, or possibly destroyed. Staff from that time were gone. The hospital, tied to local elites, stonewalled Sarah's inquiries. She suspected a cover-up but couldn't prove it. The bike's placement, the quarry camp, and Tate's story suggested someone hid Emily's fate. Sarah retired in 2001, unable to close the case. John Harper died in 2002. Ellen kept Emily's room untouched. Pine Hollow carried the mystery, some residents knowing more than they said. Emily's case became legend, a warning of hidden dangers. Her final radio call, calm, professional, contrasts with the rusted bike, a silent witness to an unsolved tragedy. Emily's 26-day survival in the quarry showed her strength, but her end remains unknown. The cover-up hints at powerful forces guarding secrets. For Pine Hollow, Emily's loss lingers, a reminder that even in tight-knit towns, truth can stay buried. Her case, a haunting true crime puzzle, joins the ranks of mysteries that defy answers, leaving echoes of questions in the Missouri wind.